What is the most efficient form of transportation? How efficient are we as a human in terms of going from point A to point B? Using some bicycle, motorcycle, or driving a car, or just walking or running. We'll explain this in this video with examples, real world examples. So I'm going to be using the bicycle riding data, which can be found in this link, and also running data also can be found in this link. So let's explain these calculations here. So out of these 6 rides, the one that 63, let's start with that. So 63 miles ride, I've done about just under 3.5 hours at 18.4 miles an hour, and my average heart rate was 154, and I consume about, or I burn about 3,220 calorie. So if you put that into perspective, a gallon of gasoline has 31,000 calorie. So it's about 1/10 of a gallon of gasoline that is used to do that 63 miles at a rate of that heart rate. Now if you so you can see that spending about 1 gallon, you can go up to 600 miles. Now in most of my rides, I don't try to go slow. I go very extreme, very fast as I can. So I'm not running really that efficient in these rides, but still I can go up to 750 miles on a gallon of gasoline. You will see that in some online people reported over about 900 miles from a gallon of gasoline. Now, of course, we don't need gasoline, and that's not a fair comparison. So I have listed here the McDonald's Big Mac, which is, you get about 450 calorie from that. It has 563 calorie in it, but you lose about 20% digestive efficiency. So then you get about 450 calorie from a Big Mac. And then to get that energy burn, 3,220 calorie, we need about 7 Big Mac to compensate that calorie burn for that 63 miles. Now, Big Mac is about $4 a pound. $4 a burger, and then with the tax and everything, you get about $30, and cost per mile for that $63 miles come about 46 cents, which is the low end of cost per mile driven of a car. And in other rides, you can see that about 30 cents or about 40 cents per mile. Now, this is just the cost of food. When you drive a car, you have insurance and maintenance, replacement, depreciation. So including all the cost, you can actually buy a new car that has about 46 cents per mile driven cost. Now, if you use a bicycle, only the food will cost about that. So you will see in a lot of posting online that people say bicycle is the most form of efficient transportation of all, which really does not, in this calculation at least, I did not find it, because when you do, bicycle is very expensive. When I started, I thought it's cheap. You just get a bike and run and ride it. It's not that. It's huge expensive. It's not just the cost of food. There are so many other things. Bicycle needs maintenance. You need special clothing, all kinds of stuff like that. The tires are more expensive than cars, even very, very expensive. You spend like $60-70 for a tire, and you ride about 1,000 miles with that and done. Car tire goes about almost 100,000 miles. So anyway, so just for the cost of the food, if you want to just fulfill that calorie, you almost spend the same amount of mile driven as compared to a small car. Now, if you drive a luxury car like Tesla or BMW, Mercedes, it's going to cost even more. Now look at this running. It's even worse. You spend about $1.50 $50, $1.50 for just for the food, compensate for the food, and then you got also other costs too with the running. So it's not that human as efficient as with respect to. So people will compare this gas mileage, compare with gasoline, then they will compare with the lard, which is very cheap, pork fat, but you can't really eat those. So McDonald's Big Mac is not too expensive, not too cheap. So I would say that's about the cost people spend in eating. So dollar wise, I don't think that cycling or even walking, nothing is really that cheap. It is more expensive than cars.